swag. This is a 1965 Ford Mustang, and this is my buddy Robert. It's been probably sitting for about, I'd say 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been sitting in a field for a little while. It's about 7 o'clock on a Sunday, and we have the optimistic idea to get this thing running before dark. Feeling pretty optimistic about it. I think we can do it.
We got this.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Rob from Heel Toe. Hey. He's done a bunch of really cool videos. If you've seen him run the Nürburgring, talented German car builds, very amazing M3. And now you're on the other side of the world working on your first American car.
Pretty crazy, yeah. I moved here just over a year ago, lucky enough to meet you, and living on American soil, I want to build my dream American car. So that's what this is. I purchased a 1965 Mustang, and the amazing Craig is gonna help me hopefully build a pretty rad car.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun. So if you guys know me, you know that I like my high revving small blocks, which this will be nothing short of. So Rob contacted me, figured it was a perfect match made in heaven, put together a symphony of a small block screaming 289 small block, which is what's in this car. So this is not your basic 200 straight 6 automatic car or whatever else. This already has a really good base to start with. So I guess if we open the hood, you can kind of see what we're dealing with. It's from what we understand to be 100% original, one owner car, drove it a million years, and everything about it looks like it's fairly complete. And it doesn't look like anyone's really tampered with it too much, which will be very good in our aspects and our goals and aspirations. So we walked to the back of the car. I guess Rob will kind of tell you a little bit of what he knows about it. So you found it out inland, end of grass field, towed it out of there, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I guess give me the rundown of how you found it.
So very briefly, I used to have a 66 Mustang, but it was too nice to tamper with, and I do have the race gene pretty deep in me, so I had to sell that car to also free up some budget and find something else. So I pretty much was looking for a shell, and the most important thing for me is that it was pretty much rust free, or that it didn't need a lot of body work. If it had an engine or not, I didn't care. So I've been browsing Craigslist, Facebook for years, or just couldn't find anything. I happened to be out in the inlands, just driving through desert roads, because that's what I like to do in my free time, and I spotted this thing sitting out in the field. Like, this is just a once in a lifetime story sort of thing. So I knocked on the door, I was like, do you want to sell your car? Nope. So I had to go there 4 times. The 4th time I went there with cash in hand, and I really had to kind of force them to. Yeah. And I had to explain to them that I'm actually going to restore the car. I didn't mention the race car part.
Sorry, it's the same thing. It's 8 up to 12.
Yeah, it's going to run. I'm going to bring it back to running. And I was able to give them the money and pull the car out of the field, bring it in here, and here it is now.
And this is, as you can see, it looked like it was fairly stripped apart to be painted.
It came like this. We didn't do any work.
Yeah. So this is starting from as you see it, as it sat. And he has cleaned a lot of this up. I'm sure we can have some footage overlaid of some of what we saw before. But this thing sat in the field outside under a cover. At least it was under a cover, which from what we see, I mean, you can see there's little spiders crawling over this thing right now. It's in fairly nice shape. I mean, it does have its good spots because it was to be painted. So I believe this is a pretty high build primer is what's on it right now, or some sort of base coat. There is good trouble spots that we'll have to adjust in the car later, but that is much further down the road. Yeah. We have a lot, basically a shell with an engine in it. So we're gonna go ahead and take this and turn it into hopefully a running vehicle that might move under its own power, and then properly pluck everything apart.
That's the goal.
And get to have a lot more fun with it. So
exactly. So yeah, actually it was pretty cool that it did even have an engine, and as Craig was mentioning, we'll overlay some footage here, but this thing was full of parts and trash and mold, and after I put the car in my garage, there was 2 dead mice that fell out, so there was that as well, to be expected.
Bonus.
What's pretty cool with that, I have shelves full of original parts, and a lot of the parts are even double, so I want to keep as much of the patina with the car as I can, so using original chrome and stuff like that.
It's German for patina.
Yeah, patina. Patina.
So this is gonna be a sweet build. It'll be something fun. Imagine everybody loves a nice little rowdy muscle car with an amazing symphony of an engine in it. Yeah. And I think as the car progresses, it will have its V1, its V2, its V3, and we'll start off with our rowdy muscle car, which is gonna be amazing.
Well, the good thing is I have built one race car in my life before in Germany, which was the M3. Yep. So I've learned a lot on how to build a track car, and I know what I want here, and I want to get it right from the beginning. So I'm gonna go the extra mile and do it right, not cut any corners, and you're definitely the right person.
I've never broken an engine in my life. Let's get into this.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Easy, man. All right, so we're gonna get started on this thing. As you guys saw, little 289. I haven't really worked with too many of these, but it's essentially the same thing as a 302. It's just a different rod ratio and a couple other small things. The concept is the same. So we're gonna start off, get a battery in this thing. We're gonna pull the air cleaner off, make sure that the carburetor is working as it should. I think we're gonna pull that apart and start diagnosing that immediately to make sure it doesn't immediately have a fuel leak, because it's 90% of the times these things sit, everything gets dried out, especially with fuel. When fuel dries up, all the rubber attached to it gets incredibly more dry. We're gonna make sure that all that stuff is good. So if we do fire it up, there's no immediate fuel leak. So start by pulling this air cleaner off. I'm sorry. What are you laughing, man? So funny.
Just testing you.
What the heck? Okay, yeah, look at that. Well, things move. That's a good start. Immediately, reaction is throttle does move. This is actually going to be a lot easier. So this isn't one of those back east projects where the whole carburetor just rusts itself together. So you guys can bask in my glory for like 5 seconds while I suffer for the rest of this. But I am going to go ahead and check everything. The main things here is our accelerator pump. Make sure that guy isn't, the diaphragm isn't bad because those like to leak. And then the other one is probably our fuel fittings and everything else. We have filters, we have pumps, we have plugs, we have a battery, we have coolant, we have oil. We have a bunch of stuff. We're gonna start installing things, pretending like we know what we're doing. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull this plug out just because I have, okay, that's ideal, awesome. I have zero idea of any condition of what this engine is or what's been done to it or how long it's been sitting realistically. From what we can tell by registration and tags and everything else, it's been roughly 15 years. But I would like to get a little bit of a better idea of that. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a spark plug out. I do have a borescope just to take a look at everything. I wanna see if there's rust, I wanna see if there's water, I wanna see what's going on internally on this thing. And I should probably start by getting the right size socket. Oh, that looks just dandy. Well, that wasn't running that great. That's like straight up raw fuel and oil. She wasn't really sparking that well. It's a good thing we got on the other side of those. A little bit? See the 6.0? Yeah. So I'm gonna try to show this a little better. But you can see off to the right of the screen that looks like what to be a 6.0. It is upside down. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. This is just what my initial inspection is. But if that is a 6.0, that is on top of this piston, and this thing is 60 over, then this thing is definitely on its way, on its last leg for sure. But you can tell there's a lot of carbon buildup on this thing. So if it was a driver, it was just driven, and I don't know if the oil was changed very often, or if it was just put gas in it and go, and hopefully the oil's in it.
You never know. I mean, there's a bit of context. The lady I bought it from, she was, as I mentioned before, the first owner. So she got this car in college, and she drove it like all of her life. And I think she just drove it. When I asked her how many miles it had, the tachometer only goes to 5 digits. Yeah. She says, okay, clocked over definitely a couple times.
Dang, okay, then yeah, that would support that, so.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, there's probably plenty of people that would be like, that is a casting number from this is, whatever, I don't want to hear.
Well, that's not us.
That's not me.
Yeah.
But either way, we're just gonna see how everything looks. Probably gonna roll the motor, put the cylinder, because the piston's pretty high up in the cylinder, let's put it down. So we can see the cylinder wall condition, see how that looks, and then we'll kind of go from there. But this is pretty much what you expect with something that's been sitting for a million years, not, you know, amazingly taken care of. Black plug, black cylinder, it's just what you expect. So a little bit of seafoam will go a long way in cleaning that up. Maybe some race gas. So that's what we would call a ring ridge. So you can see a ring ridge right there. So you can see that where the top of the piston would be at the very top, that's where the corrosion is. And pretty much up to the deck, that's gonna be like, you could drag your finger across it and you'll feel it. And then the second part is pretty much a pretty gnarly ring ridge, and that's from it sitting in one position. So there's a little bit of corrosion right there, a little bit of rust in the cylinder where some moisture has gotten in. There is some cross hatching in this, which is good, but there is also some vertical scratching, which is to be expected. Overall, I don't think it's horrible by any means as I roll this thing around. You can see the piston's in decent shape. The cross hatching does look good, and I think this thing will run just fine. I mean, that cross hatching is still in very good shape. If it had been rebuilt X amount of times, it's been rebuilt not a long time ago, and I think it's still in fairly good shape. So I think this thing will fire up just fine.
The owner gave me these pictures. I'm pretty sure they're from 2003. Yeah, so you could see the specker was in, and that the way the engine's looking there.
Yes, that thing looks brand new.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that thing looks totally brand new. Dang, that's a shame. Doesn't that really suck to see? And this was in what year?
This was so 2003, so 38 years. Yeah, the tag says 2003, so 38 years after the car was produced. So obviously this has been worked on.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that thing looks brand new.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking that's where full engine work was done, because the rest looks, you know, the way you would expect it to look.
Yeah.
Maybe it's been done again since then. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So at a minimum, we're looking at 30 to 40 over, but the 60 would not surprise me if that was done in the 2000s and it's
been redone again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's probably been done a couple times. So that's probably its last rebuild. Ow! You got soft hands.
Soft computer hands.
Smells like gas. Whoa, look at the oil on that thing. Okay, so you can see that these the rockers on the top of the heads looks like a fairly fresh-ish oil change at least. It looks like these have 100% been gone through. Everything looks very, very good in here. I mean, I can spin the push rod, which is good. I can still move everything. I can spin the push rod, which tells me that there's some oil residue left in the lifter, which is super good. This should be nice. This is very good. Does looking like it's in good shape, and I don't necessarily think it would have leaked, but there is some for sure good sediment buildup in there, which that would have clogged the jet.
Yeah.
And you can see inside of this thing, if we pop our, if we pop this guy out, which we'll need. Oh yeah, that's what we wanted to see right there. So that's why I wanted to take this thing apart. So whether it's been sitting for 2 weeks or 20 years, that is literally solid.
Oh wow, I would have thought that's loose.
Yep, no. So that's why we want to check these things, is because this all is most likely, like, look at this. Yeah, you want to run your car on that. That's like syrup.
Wow.
So that's what happens with gasoline.
Oh, okay.
It sits for 25 years or however long.
So just clean that out.
So we're gonna want to brake clean this, carb clean it, whatever else. We're gonna definitely want to pull the jets out. And essentially what we're gonna be doing is flow testing our carburetor with a can of brake clean. Yeah. But dude, look at that. That's like
that's crazy.
That is fuel.
Maple syrup.
This is what happens to fuel. So that's what everyone says, oh, it turns into syrup. That's the syrup.
And that's why when you, because in Germany we can't use our old cars in winter because of salt on the roads. So we store the cars for half a year.
Yep. So
we put this additive in there to keep the fuel.
Keeps it from solidifying. This is what happens when it solidifies. So
interesting.
We're gonna go and pull this thing out and get it cleaned up.
All right.
All right, a little update. Got the carburetor off, getting cleaned up over on the backside here. Getting all the schmoo out of it. This thing looks amazing. We have escalated to getting nothing done. It's dark, so a lot of you guys could not call me out because I'm calling myself out. Yeah, it's dark. And now we're in a racing simulator. And in fact, that doesn't fit in the seat.
Yep.
Getting all your plugs all dialed in?
Yep. At least I'm trying to.
Yeah, how's that going?
Pretty good. Just some awkward angles and a lot of knocks against bolts.
Hey, you can't complain about this when you're used to an M3.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, when you came from...
There's more room in here.
Yeah, you came literally from this. I don't want to hear any complaining. Look at all that room. You can actually get your hand in there.
But that's true. But you know a noise that I really like is, why is everything so loose on this engine?
All the spark plug just falls off.
They just fall off. I just look at them.
He's waiting for the good old nice. Yeah.
Nice.
That's better.
Nice. Yo.
Comfy?
I hate you. Very dark outside and the challenge has not been completed.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. The sun is outside and
it's about to come back up. Mr. Rob Cam. That means I'm not working in disguise.
Crazy. I don't get paid enough for this. I want a raise.
You're getting paid? We didn't agree to that.
Oh.
Shit, this is awkward.
Jesus.
Dang.
Oh, got it. Yes.
No, wait. I think, shouldn't we have checked the other side? Hold up.
That's gnarly. That's immediately just popped that off. And it almost looks like it backed off. I don't know if that's a collapsed lifter or not.
Was it stupid to not check the other side?
Yes. But that's okay. That's future Rob's problem. We're living the moment. Oh, wow. This one's, that's great.
Why didn't we check the others?
So what I think this might be is just a lifter that bled down. Because these are like rock hard.
Yeah.
These ones, they still suck, but that might be a bigger issue. I might have more than a 2-hour getting it run project to do here.
But why does everything look so good?
This thing's definitely been rebuilt. It's been ran through for sure. So it's a nice engine for sure. That's like a very extensive bleed down, if that's what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing there on that lifter, so I might be able to get a borescope down there and actually be able to look at it. From one of the other ones, if I took this push rod out, I can if I take this one off, I can shove my borescope down here and look over at this cylinder and see what's going on, or just take this one off since it's already needs to be adjusted. And then I think it's a good measure of precaution to go ahead and just go through them all, make sure that they are torqued at the correct, that folds well in the camshaft, so we don't have to worry about it. Damn, we're just getting buck wild. My audio probably sucks because of that.
Yeah, we've got a V8 in the background with you trying to talk. I'm very glad I just tightened that valve cover.
Yeah, now we need to take it off. We should probably check that.
I think.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Fired up and all you hear is the jingle bells going on. Yeah. Same thing, huh?
So this one, a little bit, and this one. Others are fine.
See, I have a good feeling these are just collapsed, but it's interesting how they're so badly collapsed from what we've seen with like doing this in the past. I mean, we've done engines that have sat for 30 years and don't have collapse lifters, so you never know. But this one, for whatever reason, I mean, it's not OE. It's obviously been rebuilt a couple times, so I don't know. We'll definitely want to check all that stuff. It could be one of those things though where no matter what, if you fired this thing up, it would make a ton of noise. But eventually, the hope is as you revved it up, it would run like crap, but it would build enough oil pressure to pump that lifter back up
and keep it up,
and the noise would essentially go away. That's in a perfect world though, which we don't live in because I just have bad luck and nothing ever works. So
because you're involved in this project.
Exactly. So knowing our luck, it would be like ejecto push rod gone, and that would be done, and then we'd be like starting at the ground zero. So I think we're gonna go ahead and check them, see if we can try to. Or probably, you know, what a good idea also would be is if we have to, you know, take the distributor out for whatever reason, we can obviously see where our compression stroke is. Pop this out. I have made a tool to build oil pressure, and I can run a drill with an impact into this socket and replace the distributor and go ahead and run oil pressure and get oil back up to the top of the engine. Nice. Therefore, in theory, I should be able to fill the lifters back up.
Nice.
So that's an easy way to test that. So if you have a oil priming tool and you have bled down lifters, mark your timing mark, pop the distributor out, get it back in the same spot, make sure you can do that so it's not off a tooth, and then you can go ahead and build oil pressure that way. So might try that tomorrow. We have battery voltage, and so we're gonna do this 2 different ways. So the first is I actually made a tool, and this is the prime distributors. So you can see this guy is just a socket welded onto a gutted distributor. I would stick that in there, like I said, and I would build oil pressure that way. We're lazy. I'm gonna try to do this the other way and not use this tool. But if I have to, I will. You can see, this is what we're trying to fix. We obviously don't want to start it like that. So if we hot wire this thing without a key, we can get it to fire. So essentially, if I pull the coil off, it will dry fire and it won't actually have any ignition. So we're just going to put a battery in it, go ahead and jump the starter solenoid if we can't get the key to work, and then see if we can just get some oil pressure and dry rotate it over essentially until we get oil pressure up here. And hopefully that lifter will slowly come back. If it doesn't, then I'm probably going to pull the distributor because we don't want to necessarily just fire this thing up and watch it kick a push rod because 4 of the lifters are flat. So yeah. He's throwing stuff all over the place.
The stuff I'm finding in the car, man.
What was that, man?
That was a stick in the dashboard. Oh, what else was it?
These are interesting keys.
It's a barn find. That's the original key. Also, is there no mention about the fact that it's daytime again? It's the next day.
Okay, well, you know what?
I just want to remind you of the ambitious start that we had to the video.
I'm just gonna blame it on this.
Yeah. Just censor that.
That and that and that. Yeah, don't ever bring me a racing simulator and expect me to get anything done.
Honestly, Franklin's contribution to this video is, will BeamNG start today as well?
Yes.
Yes, it will.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know.
See, why would we get a real car running when we have this? You don't need real cars when you have these.
This is like a toilet plunger here, right? Mm-hmm. So basically the engine's a toilet.
Yep.
I mean, right now, my toilet is better, runs better than this.
It's cool that it does have a date on it, so it kind of gives us a little more insight on what this thing was.
Yeah, the more we're taking this apart, the more we're learning about like the journey of the engine and what's been done to it.
For the most part, it seems like this car had a very, very long life with a lot of engines and a lot of different pieces just to make it drive, which is good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure if you give that a good, give that a good whiff,
that good whoop.
It's probably solid.
Awful.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll take these off, pull it apart.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what's inside of it, but yeah, then we'll swap it out with the other one. So, very sophisticated jump starting tool, very sophisticated wire, hot wiring coil, and we're gonna test for spark on this bolt. So I'm gonna basically try not to blow myself up here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, just almost did that.
Off to a really bad start.
Yep. Wait, do it one more time. Now, now it's in focus.
Yeah, totally, dude. Oh my god. Okay, hold up.
Yep. We have one spark there.
Are we done?
Yeah. We got it. Absolute chaos.
I try to stop blowing myself up.
Franklin is still hanging in there.
We're still doing good.
Beautiful.
Alright, certified fuel can going up into a new pump with a filter. That should run up into the carburetor. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray a little bit of starting fluid in this thing, try to get to fire off. Enough to where it'll build fuel into there. Now hopefully the lifters will stop making noise. It'll run, it won't explode, we'll have spark, and we'll get fuel. So, see how this goes.
Should I get the fire extinguisher ready just in case?
Yeah, maybe. Alrighty, well, let's see how much this thing smokes, or doesn't. Those lip rockers?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Cluck, very cluckily.
They're not.
Also, I watched a socket with an extension fall at the bottom. I don't know where that was.
Oh, that was for the crank.
Ah, that's what that was. That's what that was.
I was like, just saw something shiny fall from the motor, and I was like, we're good. Socket.
Still a spark. B. We have zero ignition. I don't know why. You have power to that plug, but for whatever stupid reason, this thing's not firing at all anymore. Which means it's probably slowly getting
Gunked up through there.
No, I think it's getting into there, just isn't going enough.
So you think the last guy who put the engine together was just an idiot? Or?
Unless we manage to mess 4 cylinders up just by taking the plugs out, which I highly doubt.
I don't think so. I'd give us 2, but not 4.
Yeah, that's why I'm like...
2 is plausible.
We're special, but not that special.
I'm dumb, D-O-M. So we got 1, 5, 4, 2, 6. That one I just did, that's 6, 3. Over here, that goes to...
Beautiful.
Unless, for whatever reason, this thing has a different, like a 351 Windsor firing motor camshaft, which I don't know, but I would hope not.
Mm-hmm. Why would it have that?
That's the thing. If I do that... You saw we had spark at the 1 cylinder, so it's like, what's actually going on here? I'm sure the lifters are starting to open because I'm not hearing it as much.
Should we check spark on another cylinder?
We can, I mean, it doesn't hurt. I just don't know why it's not. Yep. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. Unless there's no way, like, physical way that fuel's getting into the engine, but like...
But again, shouldn't the starting fluid?
Unless the timing's off, but we didn't mess with that, so the last thing we want to do is start messing with the string.
What if the timing was never set correctly?
That's what the next thing I was going to check. Okay, as long as it's between 0 and 30, we have something to work with, but I just want to see where it's at.
Oh, stop.
Damn, ran.
About like just in between like 0 and 4? 0 and 4, yeah. It's like right at 0.
It should fire up, I don't understand what's... Unless we manage to flood it. Hold that thing wide open the whole time, give it no gas.
WOT. Ian, get the camera.
What is that noise? Dude, that is gnarly. That sounds like a freaking rod. That's gnarly. Okay, let's do it again.
That thing's glowing.
I know, it is. Okay, let's give the coil a break. It's a little hot, but we're getting somewhere. But that sounds gnarly. I think that's the lifter not opening, and it's dead. It's literally just like imagine compression, and then the exhaust valve just doesn't open. It's like, yeah, you're just gonna stay in here. I think that's what's actually happening, but
it's a very interesting noise. Like a clunk,
it's like a piston slap, like really big thud.
Yeah.
At least it's not like a rod.
At least it's not metal to metal.
Yeah, At first it did sound like that though. I was a little worried. But yeah, our coil's nice and toasty, so we're gonna give that a little bit of a break so we don't fry it because it's the only one we have. And yeah, I think it might be a little bit flooded, but I do think if one of the cylinders is not, or multiple, if we had 4 lifters that weren't opening, then that would definitely be, you know, a reason as to why this thing wouldn't want to fire. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. But give it a little bit of open throttle. No this yet.
What was that?
That was beautiful. Let's do it again. Oh boy, this is
It's in gear, I think.
Oh, it's in gear. It moved on me.
Really?
Yes, it just moved forward.
You stay with the neutral, you lied.
Sorry.
100% moved forward.
Psych.
So that's a lean pop, and so what we're gonna want to do is just feather a little bit.
Feather the throttle?
Yeah, to try to get more feel in the engine. Just a little, just like a little bit like this. Okay. Just to get some more feel in the engine. Oh, it idled there for a second.
It did.
Come on, man, you can't
I
be
got
scared
scared
of
by the flame, I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, you gotta pump it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's all valve train. That is 100% all valve train. So what we're trying to do is get the lifters to come back, but it's not seeming like a couple of them did, for sure. A couple of them are not happy, but it does run. It'd be nice if we had any sort of gauges to see what kind of oil pressure this thing made.
Yeah.
Don't have that either. I think I'm gonna put a little more timing in it just because it's starting to get better slowly, but it doesn't really ultimately get perfected until the valves start opening.
Please do that.
So yeah.
I'm thinking we do have the instrument cluster and we do have the wiring here. I don't know how much of a pain that's going to be.
In a perfect world, you just plug it in and it seems to work, but yeah, they've got this thing stripped very far down.
Yeah.
Well, we got a runner, so that's pretty rad. About as difficult as I expected it to be. But I haven't had one where the valves or the lifters just didn't want to work, so that's a new one for me, at least.
2 hours.
Yeah, it's dude, look, it's dark now. It's 2 hours, same day too.
Same day.
Yeah, same day, different outfit.
Day, same time.
Yeah, you just change the some shorts now, it's okay. Died.
Bogs down when I...
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is try to mix with the air fuel mixture just a little bit, see what it's at. 'Cause it sounds like the transition into the main jet is
Oh, dude, any motor that's been sitting this long is gonna do that.
Yeah, what? Oh, the smoke?
Yeah.
What's it from?
It's just from grease and dirt and oil just making up. First time things I've seen any heat in 20 years. It's definitely getting better, but I would like the damn thing to idle.
Idle, yeah.
It's not, it's seeming like the accelerator circuit. It's like it's not putting any fuel through the jets, which is a little concerning. But it is running, which is nice.
I want to get a shot from the back one.
so much. I was not expecting that. That's crazy. Yeah, it's sitting at 15 degrees initial. That's perfect. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, YouTube inception going on here.
Listen to that thing. Oh, look at all the crap that fell out of it. Oh, dude, that thing runs mint. All right, let's get the brakes working and do a burnout.
Very happy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Zero.
No, there is stuff.
Oh, actually, wow.
There's something in there. Yeah, let's just drive it.
Should we move it?
The brakes don't work. I don't think I had any
What's
breakage.
the gas tank, but
Oh yeah, she'll drive.
but there's a quick tank.
I would say we could test the brakes, but there's no way to like stop it from rolling into the Porsche back there. Dude, I can't believe it's just sitting there and idling now. Wow, that is impressive. I must have got that idle mixture perfect even on first try. That was pretty good. It's getting better. I think a good oil change and some just load under it would free him up. But yeah, it runs good. It runs really good. Dude, that is so rad.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Very, very happy.
I would be. That runs phenomenal.
We have an engine that we can sell.
This makes approximately 67 horsepower. Congrats. You got a pony on you.
A lame pony.
Let's go ahead and pull our ignition off.
I'm definitely high from all the fumes.
That's all right. You'll get used to it. See, Franklin and I, we've built up a stamina from these kind of fumes. So we're just used to it by now. It's just second nature, yeah. We're born with it. Yeah. Auxiliary fuel tank, check. Ignition, check. Fuel system, check. Everything seems to work, see? I wasn't crazy.
24 hours longer than expected,
Yeah,
but that's okay.
You know, it's all right. If you squint a little bit and just
Yeah.
watch the video and focus on the car, you won't even notice time has any passed at all.
Exactly.
So. That is awesome. I'm stoked.
Dope.
Look, and we've got the thermostat open. You can see a little bit of
Fume.
Yep. And this is warm, and this is warm. It's not hot necessarily, so
This is hot though.
yeah. But,
Very hot.
I mean, it's all the built-up heat inside the engine, so I bet realistically, if we top this thing off, you can see there's coolant in there. All the way it came back up. So if you let this thing bleed, I bet you it would hold the temperature. And
Yeah.
I don't see any fluid all over the floor, which is really
I
rad.
haven't dumped anything.
So we got an engine that runs, doesn't seem to leak.
I mean, look at the car. It's the state it's
That's
in.
what I think is so funny.
I
is
didn't think it would be running.
I know it ran, and there's no anything inside of this.
No, this is not hooked up.
Yeah, we
no instruments. I don't even. Well, the throttle would work. I don't think the brake pedal would work.
No, the brake pedal doesn't work. I already tried. And then yeah, you got the seats in the interior, and it's just
It's just been eaten out by rats.
yeah, it's just sitting here. It was waiting for paint 20 years ago.
Did you get it? I look at everything that rattled out of.
Yeah, I was
all
looking
this
at that.
dirt here.
That is a lot. Give it a couple revs and it lost 20 pounds.
Yeah, seriously, all the rust. Did you get a shot of it idling from the back?
Not from the back, no.
You could
Actually,
hear
yeah,
the
I did.
muffler
Yeah, I
is
did.
absolutely
Yeah, I
done.
did. All right, 65 Mustang. It's like completely gutted. Runs. Look at that.
Yeah, that's kind of running, yeah.
Yeah, no, it ran
It
good.
idled.
I think idled like better than I would have ever expected for a car that was giving me this many issues. But
Yeah.
it seems like the lifters were slowly coming back, which was nice. And overall, it held a temperature. It got hot. We opened the thermostat. Everything was functioning, and we didn't chuck a push rod immediately, which I was a little worried about. I put a little bit of timing in it. It was sitting at 15 degrees initial timing, which was fine for this application. Obviously, I would want to tune that up a little bit. Seems like the carburetor could definitely use a little bit of adjusting as well. But made oil pressure, didn't explode, didn't leak a bunch of fluid anywhere, didn't do a bunch of weird things.
No
and
fire,
it seems,
one flame.
yeah, only
made
one
me
little
shit myself.
minute flame. Yeah, he's getting the whole experience. This is okay. This is perfect. Overall, what are the plans next for this car? So it's
So I don't know if we talked about this at all, but
No.
we do want to build a race car here. So I think the next step is going to be to tear this engine out. The car is extremely incomplete, as
Yeah.
you can see here, so there's no point taking it out on the road to actually drive it. That would be super unsafe.
Yeah.
Nothing we would ever do.
yeah. Yeah. Never.
No, but I think what we want to do next is we want to build a race motor. So what are the next steps there for that?
Yeah, so initially, like we were showing earlier, this thing, we stuck the borescope in it, it's sitting at around 60 thou on the pistons, which is 60 thou overbore on a small block. That's like paper thin when you get into the cylinder wall
I'm
tolerances.
learning. Even me, the idiot, knows that that's not
Yeah,
good.
see?
So.
Edumacation. We're an edumacation show.
Numbers.
Big numbers guy.
Numbers.
Big numbers guy. With these small blocks, 20's great, standard's great, 30 and 40's where you see a lot of these things live when they've been gone through. This one's sitting at 60. If we put any sort of power, compression, bigger explosions in this engine, we're gonna be running into some temperature issues, as well as you can also crack the cylinder wall easier if you run this thing hot, high up in the RPM, race gas, all the 9 yards, we can run into issues with this thing. So I do not think it makes any sense. Being this is not a fastback, this is not a K code, this is not, even a manual at that point.
Special. It's just a C code.
Yeah, this is your, 65 C code 289 car, automatic. Realistically, yeah, exactly. Everything on it realistically can get replaced or, made better and step up in the options list at least. So I do not think this candidate of an engine, if we're going to put any sort of performance in it, is is worth using this block. So we're gonna be looking into doing something else. So if we wanna do a race car, if we wanna do 7,000 plus RPM, if we want the symphony that this Mustang and every Mustang should have,
we want that.
That's what we want. We're gonna start with something different. So we're gonna stay tuned to the next couple of videos with this thing. This car will not go anywhere. You're gonna see more stuff with it. I don't think taking it on the road and driving it 600 miles makes any sense, but I do think starting the build process with a good platform, like having a running engine, and seeing how the rest of the chassis was worth doing. It's a cool video for you guys to see as well, seeing how little effort, well, not little effort, but just understanding the process of how you can take something that sat for as long as this did and get it to run.
I mean, what my learning is how surprisingly simple it is. It's pretty easy stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, it's okay, it has spark, it has fuel, it has this,
exactly.
it has that.
And that's the nice thing about everything being mechanical on these engines, like all the way down to the fuel pump. So
I mean, you could like, this is how to get a barn find car running. That's just a simple
with a wire and a screwdriver.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, my starter was a pair of pliers wherever they went.
They're over there.
Yeah, I bet they melted the ends of these things off. Yeah, it's okay. Harbor Freight special.
They were new.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, literally. Nice. So,
well, that's what they're there for.
Yeah, so we're gonna be building a really rad engine for this thing. I cannot wait to show you guys what I have in store for this thing. I already have it, and we're gonna have a lot of fun putting this thing together. So.
I'm excited. My bank isn't, but I am.
Oh, I'm so excited because it's not my money this time. It's gonna be awesome. I hope you guys wanted to enjoy this video. Check out Heel Toe if you want to see some amazing driving footage, as well as an amazing video picking this car up. I'm super stoked on the project. It's gonna be a ton of fun.
I'm glad you're on board.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm excited. Small blocks. Yeah, no LS swaps here. But yeah, like the video if you did enjoy, and let me think down in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video with the small block killer. See you guys.